Have you ever felt like you were constantly chasing something? For most of my life, that was me. I was chasing success, chasing money, chasing the next big thing. My days were a blur of meetings, deadlines, and the constant ping of notifications. My mind was a crowded, noisy place, and frankly, I thought that's just how life was supposed to be. I equated busyness with progress and noise with importance. The idea of silence, it wasn't just foreign, it was terrifying. It felt like emptiness, a void where productivity should be. I remember this one particular Tuesday. The market had a rough day. A deal I'd been working on for months fell through at the last minute, and I missed my daughter's school play because of a client dinner that ran late. I got home well past midnight, exhausted and defeated. The house was quiet, everyone was asleep, and in that stillness, for the first time, I didn't feel relief. I felt a profound sense of nothing. I was surrounded by the beautiful home I'd worked so hard for, but I felt completely hollow. I had all the markers of success, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't even content. I was just running on fumes. That night was a wake-up call. I realized the noise I had surrounded myself with wasn't a sign of a full life. It was a shield to protect me from having to face what was really going on inside. So, I decided to do something radical, something that scared me more than any volatile stock market. I decided to seek out silence. It started small. I'd wake up 15 minutes earlier than everyone else. I wouldn't check my phone. I wouldn't turn on the news. I would just sit in my living room with a cup of coffee and pee. The first few days were torture. My mind raced. I'd think about emails I needed to send, calls I had to make, problems I needed to solve. My leg would twitch. I'd have the overwhelming urge to just grab my phone and start scrolling. The silence was deafening, amplifying all the anxiety I was usually too busy to notice. But I stuck with it. Slowly, something began to shift. After about a week, those 15 minutes of frantic mental chatter started to quiet down. It was like letting a shaken snow globe settle. The frantic blizzard of thought started to drift down, and for the first time, I could see clearly. I started to notice things. The way the morning light hit the floorboards, the taste of my coffee, the sound of my own breathing. These weren't profound revelations, but they were real. They were grounding. This small daily practice started to bleed into the rest of my life. I started taking walks during my lunch break without my phone. I'd just walk and observe. The people, the buildings, the sky. I stopped listening to podcasts on my commute and just drove in silence. It was weird at first, but it became my sanctuary, a buffer between the chaos of work and the responsibilities of home. In these moments of quiet, I started to hear a different voice. Not the clamor of the outside world, but a quieter, deeper voice inside myself. It was the voice that had been trying to tell me for years that I was on the wrong path. That chasing more money wasn't making me richer in the ways that mattered. It was telling me that I missed my daughter's laugh, that I hadn't had a real, undistracted conversation with my wife in months, that I'd lost touch with hobbies and passions that once brought me joy. This was the silence that started making me richer. It wasn't a financial richness, but a richness of being. In the quiet, I was forced to confront my priorities. Was another zero in my bank account worth the cost of my connection to my family? Was the prestige of a new title worth the price of my own inner peace? The answer, when I finally allowed myself to hear it, was a resounding no. So I started making changes. I delegated more at work. I started leaving the office at a reasonable hour. I put my phone away when I got home. Instead of another late-night client dinner, I was there for bedtime stories. Instead of weekend work, we went on hikes. We started having family dinners with no screens allowed. We just talked. It was awkward at first, reconnecting with the people I lived with, but soon it became the best part of my day. I discovered that the silence wasn't empty at all. It was full. It was full of clarity, full of connection, full of presence. I was hearing my own thoughts for the first time in a decade. I was really listening to my wife when she told me about her day. I was fully present when my daughter showed me a drawing she made. These were the riches I had been unknowingly starving for. My colleagues noticed the change. They said I seemed calmer, more focused. And because I was no longer operating from a place of frantic reactivity. I was making decisions from a place of clarity. My business didn't fall apart. In fact, it improved. I was making better, more intentional choices, because I wasn't just reacting to the loudest noise in the room. I also rediscovered parts of myself I thought were long gone. I picked up my old guitar that had been gathering dust in the corner. I started reading books for pleasure again, not just for business strategy. In the space created by silence, my own interests and joys had room to grow back. Now, I'm not saying you need to abandon all your ambitions and go live in a monastery. I still run my business. I still work hard, but my definition of wealth has completely changed. Wealth isn't just a number in your bank account. It's the richness of your relationships. It's the depth of your connection with yourself. It's the ability to be present in your own life, to truly experience the moments that make it up. The world will always be noisy. It will always be demanding your attention. But you have the power to create your own pockets of silence. Maybe it's 5 minutes in the morning. Maybe it's a walk without headphones. Maybe it's just turning off the radio in the car. In that quiet space, you might just find the clarity you've been looking for. You might reconnect with what truly matters to you. You might discover, as I did, a kind of wealth that money can't buy. A richness that comes not from adding more, but from becoming quiet enough to appreciate what's already there. That journey into silence didn't just change my schedule. It changed my soul. It made me a better husband, a better father, and a better leader. It made me richer in laughter, in connection, and in peace. And that is a fortune I wouldn't trade for anything. Thanks for listening to my story. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more conversations like this. Take care.